Why do you spend a small fortune on expensive probiotic supplements every single month, yet your digestion, your energy levels, and that stubborn belly bloat just absolutely refuse to improve? You pop those little capsules faithfully every morning, expecting a miraculous overnight transformation in your gut health, but nothing fundamentally changes in your body. This is the intensely frustrating cycle that millions of well-intentioned people are trapped in right now. And it is exactly why the mainstream advice on gut health is completely missing the mark. We are constantly told by marketing campaigns that swallowing a pill full of bacteria is the ultimate guaranteed fix for our broken microbiome. But here is the controversial, underlying truth that the supplement industry desperately does not want you to realize. Throwing high-quality seeds onto a barren, toxic wasteland will never grow a lush, vibrant garden. Those popular probiotic supplements are merely treating the surface-level symptoms while completely ignoring the underlying environment of your digestive tract. Today, we are going to look strictly past these superficial quick fixes. I am going to reveal the real root cause of your gut issues and show you the exact biological science of how to fix it from the ground up. If you are ready to look beyond the surface-level advice and truly understand your body, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon right now so you never miss out on the real science of your health. Let us start by breaking down exactly why the mainstream conventional approach to gut health is fundamentally broken and practically useless for long-term healing. Everywhere you look, the primary solution being pushed is to just take more probiotics. We are falsely told that if you suffer from daily digestive distress, chronic brain fog, or a sluggish metabolism, you simply lack the right bacteria in your stomach. The standard advice is to swallow a capsule containing 50 billion colony-forming units and hope they somehow survive the incredibly harsh, acidic environment of your stomach. But this completely ignores the basic biological reality of how your intricate digestive system actually functions on a microscopic level. You cannot just drop new residents into a neighborhood and expect them to instantly thrive without resources. Think of your delicate gut microbiome not as an empty room waiting to be filled, but rather as a highly complex, fiercely competitive tropical rainforest. In a truly thriving rainforest, the soil is incredibly rich in nutrients, the canopy provides protective shade, and the native plants are deeply rooted. The entire ecosystem works together in perfect dynamic harmony. Now, imagine if you take a handful of beautiful exotic seeds and just toss them carelessly onto a barren parking lot entirely covered in thick concrete. Those seeds are going to immediately wither and die under the harsh sun. It absolutely does not matter if you throw 10 billion seeds onto that concrete. The environment is entirely incapable of sustaining new biological life. This is exactly what you are doing to your body when you take high-dose probiotic supplements while eating a standard modern diet heavily loaded with ultra-processed junk foods. You are literally dropping good bugs onto a biological concrete parking lot. The real root cause of your poor gut health is a severely degraded, continuously starved, and highly toxic internal intestinal environment. The beneficial bacteria naturally present in your digestive tract are living organisms. Like all living creatures, they absolutely require very specific food sources to survive and actively multiply. Their primary food source is dietary fiber, specifically complex prebiotic fiber found in whole plants. When you consistently deprive them of this essential fuel, a catastrophic chain reaction instantly begins inside you. Good bacteria begin to slowly starve and die off in massive numbers. Here is where the science gets incredibly fascinating. Your delicate gut lining is physically protected by a thick, resilient mucus layer. It acts exactly like a massive, impenetrable medieval castle wall, keeping all the bacteria safely confined inside the intestinal tube and far away from your sterile bloodstream. When your native good bacteria are completely starved of dietary fiber, they get incredibly desperate. They actually turn around and start aggressively eating that protective mucus layer just to survive another day. Consequently, your protective castle wall gets thinner and much weaker over time. Simultaneously, the bad, highly opportunistic pathogenic bacteria quickly move in and multiply rapidly. These bad, destructive bugs absolutely thrive on exactly what the typical modern diet provides in abundance. They love refined white sugars, heavily processed, simple carbohydrates, and cheap, inflammatory industrial seed oils. This dramatic shift in the microscopic balance of power directly leads us to a crucial secondary physiological concept that we must understand, which is systemic, full-body inflammation. As the pathogenic bacteria take over and the protective mucus wall severely degrades, microscopic physical gaps begin to actually form in your delicate intestinal lining. We commonly refer to this dangerous structural failure as a leaky gut endotoxins, which are highly toxic metabolic byproducts produced by these bad bacteria, start slipping through those tiny cracks and directly enter your bloodstream. Your highly sensitive immune system immediately detects these foreign invaders and aggressively sounds the biological alarm. This intense immune response triggers a massive cascade of chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your entire body. This widespread inflammation aggressively messes with your intricate metabolism, making it incredibly difficult for your cells to burn stored fat for optimal energy. It travels up into your brain, directly causing that heavy, exhausting brain fog and chronic mental fatigue you feel every afternoon. It even forces your adrenal glands to heavily spike your cortisol levels, which is your body's primary stress hormone. Elevated cortisol then chemically slows down your digestion even further, creating a vicious, totally self-perpetuating cycle of severe gut dysfunction and aggressive full-body inflammation. Interestingly, some brilliant recent studies have found that individuals who consume a high-fiber, diverse plant-based diet have a significantly thicker, much more resilient intestinal mucus layer compared to those on a standard low-fiber diet. Regardless of whether they ever took any probiotic supplements, the biological science is incredibly clear right here. The most powerful proven way to completely transform your microbiome is by completely remodeling the internal neighborhood, so that the good native residents naturally want to stay, thrive, and rapidly multiply. When you finally provide the right premium raw materials, your native good bacteria actively ferment that incoming plant fiber into powerful, healing signaling molecules called short-chain fatty acids. One of the absolute most famous and thoroughly researched ones is called butyrate. You can easily think of butyrate as the ultimate soothing healing ointment for your damaged gut lining. It actively repairs the broken castle wall, rapidly lowers local intestinal inflammation, and even communicates directly with your brain to deeply stabilize your mood and regulate your daily appetite. We must start intensely obsessing over exactly what we are feeding these microbes every single day. We urgently need to shift our entirely misguided focus from isolated supplementation to comprehensive environmental optimization. We must ruthlessly cut off the daily food supply to the harmful pathogens and simultaneously unleash a massive influx of premium fuel for the beneficial microbes. By taking direct control of your dietary environment, you are not just soothing a minor stomach ache. You are actively turning off the blaring inflammatory alarms in your bloodstream, deeply stabilizing your raging hormones, and giving your cellular metabolism the ultimate green light to function at its absolute peak biological capacity. Let us look at the evidence together and embrace the real cure. 1. First, we must aggressively and intentionally starve the bad bacteria by completely cutting out their favorite toxic fuels from your daily diet. This fundamentally means permanently eliminating ultra-processed foods, hidden added sugars, and low-quality industrial meats from your routine. The biological reasoning behind this step is actually quite simple and undeniably powerful. Pathogenic, harmful bacteria absolutely thrive on refined carbohydrates and artificial sugar, acting exactly like a raging fire when you pour gasoline directly on it. When you habitually consume sugary soda drinks, sweet artificial desserts, or a greasy bag of potato chips, you are directly funding and heavily feeding the enemy army currently stationed in your intestinal tract. To execute this critical protocol successfully, you need to ruthlessly and thoroughly purge your home pantry of these massive chemical offenders today. Swap out that daily highly sweetened milk tea for plain, refreshing sparkling water infused with fresh lemon, and firmly replace those highly processed packaged snacks with raw, whole foods. When you go grocery shopping, stick strictly to the outer aisles where the fresh produce lives. The non-negotiable warning here is to always rigorously read ingredient labels carefully. Watch out closely for hidden sugars cleverly disguised in seemingly healthy packaged foods like commercial salad dressings, which can silently sabotage your hard work and keep those bad bugs thriving. 2. Second, you must aggressively flood your digestive system with high-fiber legumes to provide premium, slow-digesting fuel for your beneficial microbes. We often proudly call natural beans and lentils the undisputed kings of dietary fiber for a very good biological reason. When you consume these complex, sturdy carbohydrates, they manage to travel completely intact all the way down through your stomach acid directly into your lower intestine. Right there, they rapidly act as the highly potent organic fertilizer for your good bacteria, allowing them to rapidly multiply and physically crowd out the harmful strains. You can easily think of high-quality legumes as the premium-grade compost that instantly brings your barren biological garden back to vibrant life. Start actively incorporating whole chickpeas, dark kidney beans, and nutrient-dense black beans into your regular weekly meal rotation as soon as physically possible. You can effortlessly toss a generous handful of freshly cooked chickpeas into a massive lunch salad or smoothly blend them into a highly delicious, creamy Mediterranean hummus. Black beans also make a truly fantastic, incredibly hearty addition to warm soups or robust stews. However, there is a very important tip you absolutely must remember right now. If your digestive system is currently not used to safely processing high amounts of dietary fiber, you must intentionally introduce these legumes very slowly to avoid severe temporary bloating and excessive intestinal gas. Third, you need to completely supercharge your early mornings by actively building a powerful daily breakfast routine that is densely packed with diverse, colorful plant fibers. The typical mainstream modern breakfast, heavily consisting of highly sugary boxed cereals, sweet baked pastries, or plain white bread, massively spikes your blood sugar and completely starves your delicate gut bacteria. Instead, you genuinely want to creatively break your overnight fast with whole foods that immediately send strong signals of vibrant health and deep nourishment straight to your waiting microbiome. By intentionally providing an incredibly rich matrix of complex natural fibers, first thing in the morning, you automatically set a remarkably stable metabolic tone for the rest of your busy day. A highly effective, deeply satisfying, and simple morning template is a large, warm bowl of pure, completely unflavored, rolled oatmeal generously topped with a massive handful of raw mixed nuts like walnuts and almonds. Add in some vibrant fresh berries like tart red raspberries or dark organic blueberries, which are heavily loaded with both dense soluble fiber and powerful disease-fighting antioxidant compounds, commonly called polyphenols. You should also strategically include a small side of convenient vegetables and a highly clean source of lean protein, like 2 freshly boiled eggs. The main trap to completely avoid here is accidentally buying highly processed instant oatmeal packets, which are essentially just heavily disguised sugar bombs. Fourth, we must significantly and deliberately upgrade your midday lunch strategy by focusing intensely on clean vegetables and strictly avoiding the heavy, greasy traps of typical midday restaurant meals. During a highly chaotic, stressful workday, it is incredibly easy to just rely on heavily convenient fast food or massive, oily takeout boxes. But these commercial meals are completely drenched in highly inflammatory industrial seed oils that actively damage your delicate intestinal lining. Your complex gut flora absolutely requires a highly diverse, wide array of different plant fibers to properly maintain a highly robust, incredibly varied internal ecosystem. Eating a massive, wide spectrum of brightly colorful vegetables provides the exact microscopic nutrients your hungry microbes require. To successfully put this powerful concept into immediate action, deliberately build your daily lunch around a truly massive, oversized portion of highly clean, lightly cooked, or perfectly fresh raw vegetables. If you are ever completely forced to quickly order restaurant takeout due to a highly tight work schedule, you absolutely must order smartly and highly defensively. Intentionally choose a highly healthy, incredibly light green salad, or quickly opt for a simple clear broth spicy hot pot heavily loaded with fresh leafy greens and clean, lean protein. The absolute key here is to strictly and permanently avoid heavy sauces, thick commercial sesame paste, or excessive chili oils, as they are completely packed with highly unhealthy fats. Fifth, you absolutely need to completely and radically restructure your evening dinners entirely around dense, coarse grains and truly massive quantities of highly vibrant, fresh leafy greens. For many long decades, mainstream modern nutrition has incorrectly told us to base our massive evening meals around huge portions of highly refined white rice or plain processed wheat pasta. These completely stripped-down carbohydrates offer absolutely zero real nutritional value to your starving microbiome and simply rapidly convert straight to toxic sugar right in your circulating bloodstream. By intelligently swapping them for entirely whole, unrefined alternatives, you successfully deliver a slow-releasing energy source that keeps your gut bacteria happily feeding and producing highly healing compounds while you deeply sleep. Your highly ideal, perfectly balanced dinner plate should heavily feature high-quality, dense coarse grains like wild brown rice, authentic whole wheat sourdough bread, or incredibly dense root vegetables like roasted sweet potatoes and thick yams. Always vigorously combine these excellent complex starches with a very generous, massive portion of incredibly simple, lightly stir-fried leafy green vegetables, such as fresh spinach or crunchy bok choy. This highly specific combination successfully ensures a massive influx of highly diverse plant fibers right before your exhausted body officially enters its critical resting and repair phase. One absolutely critical warning for this specific step is to ensure your evening vegetables are cooked very gently with minimal premium olive oil, not cheap vegetable oils. 6. You absolutely must strategically introduce premium high-quality fermented foods to directly provide highly natural, highly targeted microbial reinforcement to your entire digestive tract. While I have previously heavily criticized completely relying on highly expensive probiotic supplements, actively consuming truly naturally fermented foods is an entirely different biological game. These highly traditional, incredibly time-tested ancient foods not only naturally contain beneficial live bacterial cultures, but they also cleverly bring along their own highly protective acidic environment and deeply healing postbiotic chemical compounds. This brilliantly creates a highly powerful protective vehicle that actually heavily helps the good, fragile bacteria safely survive the highly harsh journey through your stomach acid and successfully integrate into your existing intestinal community. You should deliberately aim to actively include small, highly consistent daily amounts of powerful foods like completely unsweetened natural yogurt, highly traditional spicy Korean kimchi, or completely authentic highly sour natural sauerkraut in your overall daily diet. A generous, flavorful spoonful of highly spicy fermented kimchi alongside your warm evening dinner, or a small, refreshing bowl of plain Greek yogurt as an energizing afternoon snack truly works absolutely perfectly. However, there is a massive dietary pitfall you absolutely must strictly watch out for when shopping for these specific fermented items. You must highly diligently check the commercial nutrition labels to strictly monitor your hidden sodium intake, as many pickled products are completely loaded with dangerous excessive salt. 7. Finally, you absolutely need to completely master the subtle art of smart snacking and clever strategic takeout adaptations for those incredibly busy, completely unpredictable modern days. We all naturally have highly chaotic moments where actively cooking a totally perfect, incredibly fiber-rich complex meal entirely from scratch is simply logistically impossible. The highly flawed mainstream approach sadly leaves you entirely vulnerable to heavily convenient, completely ultra-processed junk food when sudden, intense hunger violently strikes your body. By planning ahead incredibly intelligently, you can easily ensure that even your fast emergency backup options are still actively feeding your crucial good bacteria. It is entirely about meticulously building incredibly resilient, robust dietary habits that powerfully protect your delicate gut environment. Keep a highly strategic, completely hidden stash of absolute zero prep, highly gut-friendly natural snacks readily available in your daily work bag or safely at your office desk, such as natural almonds, perfectly fresh whole bananas, bright cherry tomatoes, or crisp, fresh cucumbers. Furthermore, you can incredibly cleverly boost the overall fiber content of almost any random meal completely on the go by simply stirring in a large spoonful of raw chia seeds or pure natural oat bran directly into your drinking water, morning coffee, or clear restaurant soups. The absolute most common mistake people regularly make right here is incorrectly assuming completely healthy snacks can be safely eaten limitlessly. You must remain mindful of overall portions. Before you overhaul your dietary lifestyle, there are a few critical considerations we need to address to ensure you succeed without unnecessary discomfort. First, if you currently suffer from severe pre-existing gastrointestinal conditions like irritable bowel syndrome or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, dramatically increasing your dietary fiber overnight can actually backfire. In these specific cases, you must work closely with a qualified healthcare professional to properly heal your gut lining before safely introducing massive amounts of highly complex fermentable carbohydrates into your daily system. Second, proper daily hydration is absolutely non-negotiable when you actively transition to a high-fiber diet. Natural plant fiber acts exactly like a massive biological sponge inside your digestive tract, soaking up vast amounts of water to keep things moving smoothly. If you massively increase your fiber intake but forget to drink enough water, you will inevitably experience severe constipation and uncomfortable abdominal cramping. Make sure you are consistently sipping pure water throughout your entire day to support this intricate digestive fermentation process. Third, regarding those expensive probiotic supplements we discussed earlier, I am not saying they are completely useless in every single medical context. If you have recently taken a heavy course of prescription antibiotics, a scientifically targeted probiotic supplement can be a helpful temporary recovery tool. However, you must meticulously check the specific bacterial strains and ensure a high number of active colony-forming units. Just always remember that commercial supplements are only a temporary crutch, never the ultimate long-term biological solution. So let us quickly recap the core scientific logic here today. Your gut is a complex living ecosystem that deeply dictates your cellular metabolism, your immune response, and your overall systemic inflammation. Taking probiotic pills without completely changing your daily diet is exactly like throwing exotic seeds onto a toxic concrete parking lot. The real foundational root cause of massive gut dysfunction is simply a starved microbiome. By cutting out ultra-processed junk and heavily flooding your system with diverse plant fibers, legumes, and natural fermented foods, you actively feed the good bacteria. These bacteria then rapidly produce powerful short-chain fatty acids that naturally repair your gut lining, shut down chronic inflammation, and deeply heal your body from the inside out. Transforming your overall health does not require a medicine cabinet full of expensive, overhyped commercial pills. It simply requires you to deeply understand the truly fascinating biological science of your own human body, and to intentionally make much smarter dietary choices every single time you eat. You currently hold the ultimate power to completely remodel your complex microbiome, significantly boost your metabolic fire, and permanently reclaim your vital daily energy. Take these actionable science-backed steps, apply them consistently every single day, and watch exactly how rapidly your resilient body responds to being deeply nourished. I truly hope you found this deep scientific breakdown highly helpful and totally eye-opening. If you did, please hit that like button right now, share this important video with someone you deeply care about, and do not forget to subscribe for more content that decodes the real science of your health.